gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that brings you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the planet. I am your host, Steven. She is your other host, Ashley, and together we form the Wonder Podcast's friends. Yes, we high-five and turn into two walruses, or maybe an airplane. Sometimes we might turn into an alligator with a tasty thirst for vengeance. It's hard to tell these days, but one thing you can be sure of is that when we high-five together, our powers shall make us into a news delivery service like you've never seen. One that packs the odd news into your ears using audio waves. Its mystical power you shall never understand without deep learning on the topic. And to present more topic, here is Ashley. Hello, Ashley. How are you this evening?
I've decided I'm going to take, I don't know, 5 of the cold opens that you do and send them to Stephen Colbert's writing staff and be like, you're all fired.
I don't know that what
The
I say...
supercomputer Stephen has replaced you, sorry.
I don't know that what I say on a whim with barely a forethought is enough to really get me a job at Stephen Colbert's writing staff.
So, I hear him do the openings for Meanwhile, and I'm like, those are good. Those are so good. But Steven doesn't even try, and it pops out of his anus. It just flies out like mutant squirrels with wings.
Yeah, I've never tried much of anything in my life. But I should. I always considered that if I had tried in school, I would have done better. You ever think about that?
Okay, I do have a question. Like, legitimately, besides my sister, who's just the weirdest, who actually tried in school in America?
This is a good question.
College, maybe? I mean, Mello said she did. Ace
Mello tried
did.
in school. Ace
Kelly
tried in
did.
school. Kelly tried. Maybe you and I are just like something's wrong with us. We should have tried more.
I was anal about getting A's.
Why are people anal? Have we ever discussed what that means? Like, what does an anal mean?
Your anus is tight?
Does it have to do with your anus, or is it some other... What's the etymology of anal retentiveness?
Okay, sub, I know you coasted. You could.
Yeah, well, look, when you're smart, you can coast, because your coasting speed is so high. You know, you're just like... Oh, it means keeping your anus tight.
So, and Jacob drank his way through high school and most of college. In grad school, he's like, I had to try because it was harder, which I get. But in high school,
He told me he never studied till he got to like his sophomore year of grad school. Is that how that works? Anyway, it was late. It was late in college when he started studying. I didn't have to study
with honors.
Yeah, what does with honors mean? That's like this bull crap. Everybody graduates with honors. Like, you have to just you just have to fail completely to not have a with honors attached to you.
Like if you just have a like a 3 point. Well, our school was stupid because they gave you a 6-point spread, which was not fair.
Oh, the 94 to 100, 88 to 94.
All the people see is an A. Like, they don't know that it was a harder A to get the people at Woodrow. Meh.
Yeah, my A was harder to get, so my A is more well-earned. It's all stupid. I had 4.0 GPAs all the way up through that junk. I got my with honors. I still don't know what, rank I was in class, though.
I didn't care. I think your parents care for you, but, Stephanie did real well. So mom was like, "Oh, thank God one of them is," and so mom concentrated more on Stephanie, and mom's like,
she gave up on you.
Oh yeah. The second Stephanie started doing well, mom's like, oh,
I'll dump all my eggs into this basket.
Ashley.
You go do whatever it is that you do. I had too many interests. I had too many other things that were important to me to come home and work hard. They had all these little extracurricular. Steven, you should be a part of this. Yeah, no. I'm gonna go play in a punk rock band. Cool. All right then.
That's the one thing I wish I would have done in college was be more involved in all the stuff there is to offer. Like like you can take Hapkido and just all kinds of random crap. And there was anime clubs and stuff. I remember Stephanie and I walked in the basement one time because they were having a poster sale. Sorry, I'm talking really fast. And I saw the anime club sign up. I'm like, that looks really cool. I hate people.
I don't want to be around anyone.
Yeah. I mean, I love people, but I hate people. Like, I don't
Yeah.
take all my friends are friends because they kept talking to me and I didn't have to do any work until I realized that, like,
So you just let them talk at you and be like, okay, they pass. I'll
yeah,
try
like,
now.
and I was thinking about Jill the other day and I'm like, Jill was so patient and kept reaching out and reaching out and reaching out. And now I'm like, Jill is awesome. I didn't pursue that at all at first for like, I don't know, 5 years.
The best relationships are the ones that you don't have to pursue. They just pursue you relentlessly. And then one day you go, fine, we can chat. We've had those where we've had to like just kind of fade out. Have you ever had a friend where you had to fade out? Where you're like, they're just never gonna go away. They're not picking up the hint that this chemistry isn't there. Think I'm gonna start fading
Yeah.
out.
I talked
Oh,
about one of them on the show a while ago. Actually, yeah. Some people, yeah. Sometimes you just have to ghost people.
you gotta have a strategy. You gotta have an exit strategy. Oh, we moved to a new house. We're far away now. There's no
Everdorf's
chance.
like, we're in not the continental US.
Yeah.
Ah.
Amber Dwarf's like, I was able to get rid of everyone I didn't like in one fell swoop. I only talk to people I care about now. Winning.
Oh, there were okay. You guys, if you okay, for the people that were bullied, that sucks. People should be nice or else get their balls kicked in.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing about high school or like go back with the current brain you have, like what would you do differently?
Everything. I would care far less about everything. I got pretty good at it around like 11th grade. I got pretty good at not giving a crap. And I bought these red Dickies shorts and flaming Vans and went and
That's
did
how
my
I remember
jam.
you though.
Well, that's you met Steven after he stopped trying and just leaned into whatever nerdy weirdness he was into without worrying over whether somebody liked him or not. And it made me more outgoing and I had a lot more fun because it was just like nobody was going to hurt me. Once you were like in 11th grade, all the bullies that sucked were mostly gone. And it was like, I don't have to worry about them anymore. I'm just going to go be awesome because there were no bullies in my class. There were turds. But even then, once you got to know those turds, you realize they didn't have any power over you. And you're just like, hey, you don't have any power over me. They're like, I don't. And you're like, you're all right then. You're fine. I don't want to be your buddy or anything. I think you're stupid, but we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. We're like, okay, good. I remember we went on our senior trip. There's only 24 kids. We went on our senior trip. Everybody there liked each other by the end of it that I recall. I remember getting along with literally everybody except for
Because
like
you live
two
in
people.
Steven's happy bubble. There was probably like fist fights and people came
Oh
back
yeah.
bloody and Steven's like, everybody loves each
I
other.
thought everybody was great except for like two people that everyone was actively trying to get away from. And it was mostly that the ones that were so awkward and strange and difficult to talk to that everyone struggled to have a conversation. They're like,
Wait, was Ryan Belcher in your class or Stephanie's?
no, he wasn't. He was in Stephanie's class. He was in Stephanie's. But yeah, I remember coming back going, these people are all right. We just went to a foreign land and got along. That's pretty great. And that was an enjoyable time. What would you tell your high school self?
That's so funny because like the chat blew up when I asked that. Like we heard from people saying just I mean most of it's just ignore the a-holes kind of thing, which is developmentally almost impossible for that
Oh yeah.
brain cycle you're in. You just everything holds vast import because it has to because your brain's developing. But I thought I'm like, okay, well if I went back and first of all, I was like, I would tell my parents to buy stock in Google and Apple. Like
Oh,
that's my first thought.
I didn't know I was gonna be able to like take. You can't. I don't know. That could corrupt us horribly.
Right? But that's what I was saying. I'm like, literally anything that I would change, like, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have met Jacob. Like, I would maybe like go back in time and like shoot somebody in the balls, but then I'm like, well, then what does that change? So maybe I just go shoot people in the balls now.
Yeah. I don't think
Like,
there's, I
you
mean,
don't
just
remember what this is for, but it makes me feel good.
here's some ball kickery. I'm coming. I'm coming for your nuts. You write that in magazine clippings like a psycho.
I'm coming for your nuts.
I'm, yes.
The nuts are
Like
coming. The nuts are coming.
that's terrible. Uh, you make a good point. I don't know. I probably like because I met Stephanie in high school, so that wouldn't change because I would have met her in high school, and that would have been in the timeline. But I don't know. I might have left Florida earlier. Well, I would have just flipping married Stephanie like 2 years into dating. I'd just go marry her and throw it all to chance.
He
But
wanted
instead,
to
we had to be all practical and wait around and get jobs and get an apartment and get everything established. Stupid. I should have married her at
everything
20.
about getting married was painful for me and Steven and Stephanie and Jacob. For
I had a
reasons.
great time. Speak for yourself, except that the whole 7 years of waiting to get married thing.
Well,
I'd have done
that
it
and then
early.
I think your wedding, you guys were like completely oblivious and great, but I feel like everything leading up to no, you guys were gone. I was home with mom.
We weren't there. Oh yeah, that's right. You were living at home. You
Yeah,
must have
that
been
that was
seeing the side of the wedding
ooh.
planning that was a lot more intense.
Well, she was the chick that called the sheriff and had him tell me that I couldn't come back to their establishment.
Oh, you actually got banned from a place. Like that's pretty awesome. You got like a restraining order from the sheriff to not go back.
He was laughing when he told me, and I'm like, "Yuck it up, Chuckles."
That's pretty great. I don't think anybody's really surprised to hear that though. That you would have
I'm
been told.
apparently slightly intimidating when I get pissed.
Yes, can confirm. Even when you're not really mad at me, you're mad at something around me, I get scared and want to go crawl in a hole. Like, I'm gonna go now. Ashley's angry. I'm going to
Stephanie's
leave.
even like I feel so much better when I vent. Like I get really pissed, but if I can just yell about it for like 5 minutes, I feel like I'm just like, okay, better now. Unless it's law school, then I'm still slightly bitter. But
Me
like
too.
they won't let me yell about it because they're like, Stephanie's like, I just there's just I can't. I feel like you're yelling at me. I'm like, I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the situation.
I do that. I get that from Stephanie a lot. I'll be like, "This is property, property, property. Why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the situation." Like she had literally nothing to do with what I'm mad about, and she'll be like, "You feel like you're yelling at me?" I'm like, "I'm not yelling. I'm fine. Everything's good." Blah.
Podcasters be animated, yo.
You know it. Let's do a
Yeah.
factoid. Can we
Kelly's
do?
right.
Wait, where's the buttons? Oh my gosh! A gene called ABCC11, ABC Canada 11. That's what that means.
Oh,
Uh,
what's the code? A A
up,
B
down,
B.
down, left,
Yes.
right. B A B. Select start for two
Ye-
players in Contra. The
Yes.
only way you can beat it is to use that code because nobody can beat Contra in 3 lives. I know people can beat Contra in 3 lives. I'm just
No,
saying
they can't.
nobody normal.
People with lives can't beat Contra in 3
No.
lives. Up!
There you go. Boom. Zip, zap, zoom. ABCC11 determines whether people produce wet or dry earwax. Gross. Interestingly, people who produce the dry version of earwax also lack a chemical in their armpits that bacteria feed on to cause underarm odor. This gene is basically the single determinant of whether you do produce armpit odor or not. Only 2% of Europeans lack the genes for smelly armpits, but almost all Koreans lack this gene and therefore do not have armpit odor. You heard it here first, folks. If you're Korean, quit putting on Old Spice. You don't need it. That's amazing.
So, okay, but why? Because, like, isn't it bacteria farts that make your armpits smell like onions?
Yeah, but I guess they don't produce the sweat. Well, the sweat glands, right? You sweat. And
Yeah, Kelly
then,
and I are both like, what?
but then the odor, I don't know, man. It's a
Wake up.
factoid. I didn't research it. Jacob did. Ask him why it works.
I don't want to be drunk in public. I want to be drunk in the bar. Arrest them.
Don't come at me with these questions. Let's see. ABCC11. Oh, that's also a hex code for this really gnarly lime green color. If you Google it, it gives you the hex value of a really gnarly color. I don't like it at all.
Is it earwax color?
No, it's more like baby poop. Which checks out. Let's see.
Baby poop.
There's some. Oh no, this is way too science. The Human Gene Database has a bunch of data on it. The protein encoded by this gene is a member of the superfamily of ATP binding cassette transporters. ABC proteins transport various molecules across extra and intracellular membranes. I'm already tired and bored and don't know.
I was actually listening. I'm like, and?
Nope, I don't know. I can't do it. There's so many words on this page. The internet's conditioned me to not be able to read long form stuff on a web page.
Oh no, that's so bad.
I can read a magazine. I can read a book. I can read anything you want me to read except for internet. Internet, I look at it and I go, this isn't over yet. I'm done. I'm done with this. This, like, Medium now lists how long it's going to take. So you have an article and Medium will be like, this article will take roughly 5 minutes to read. I'm like, that's a long time for words on screen. I don't do it. What? I read the Twitter.
I think you need some sessions with Head Gamer, man.
I do not. Like I said, it's an internet problem. It's not a brain problem. If you hand me the same article in a magazine, I'll read the whole thing. I just can't read it on a web page because I start scrolling and I'm like, this is really long. Where's the cliff notes?
I don't.
Steven's in the microwave. I don't have all minute. Thank you, Head Gamer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. So now we've learned that there's a gene that makes pubic hair flat.
Wait, what?
And armpits not stink.
Did we learn that another episode?
Yeah, there's like typically Asians have round or flat. Wait, what do we have? Someone rip out a pubic hair and look at it.
But look at it under a microscope and examine what's
going on. You have to be white though, or like non-Asian.
Don't pull out your crotch hairs. It's just a bad move.
It's because crabs have those little claws things, so they can't grab on. I think it's flat.
What is a crab? I was thinking about crabs today.
I think it's like a pubic louse, right? What crotch hair is Kelly?
Crabs crotch. I swear. Oh, these things, they look like little what are those things that they always show when you're talking about the Cretaceous period or whatever?
With the
they're like horseshoe crabs, and then there's the plantalians.
Yeah, I think it's flat, and so they can't grab onto it, so they much less likely to have an infestation.
They look like little dangerous things. They're gross, man. There's one picture of an actual crotch with crabs. I've never seen
crabs.
that.
Crab crotches, crabby crotch.
It's not what I expected to talk about on the show. There's an article from the Mayo Clinic all about crabs if you want to learn how you get them. Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, if I could be reincarnated, I want to come back like with the flat, silky, soft pubes and the non-stinky armpits.
Okay, well, good. You can put in that request when you get there.
Bulgogi. Moving to Korea.
Be cool if you could get out of there. If you could get out of there and remember stuff from before, so you could be like, I'm so smart because I remember all the things that I did in my past life. That'd be pretty cool.
If you mix up crotch lice and head lice and put the whole pile on a volunteer's body, they will go to their proper destination, even if the volunteer is lying down.
Wow. That's amazing. So the head lice will go to the head and the crotch lice will go to the crotch, even if they're in a big pile on somebody's chest. That is
Who
wild.
the mother F went, yes,
Look,
PayPal me $300 and you can louse me.
people are nuts. I mean, Isaac Newton poked his eye with a needle just to see what would happen. You know, like,
Oh, that was dumb. That was
he did all
dumb.
kinds of weird stuff. Have you ever read about Isaac Newton? He was a nutball. He stared at the sun for like a minute just to see what would happen. But without
Yeah, they didn't
crazy
really have
people like
Google, did
him,
they?
no, they couldn't look it up. Nobody knows what it would do till you did it, so someone had to try. And you know, there's some people that are crazy enough to do it, and then it's like that guy who wants to get his head transplanted. That's a thing.
Is he
Speaking of
Russian?
head transplants, transplant some words into your brain by buying Horizons, an anthology of epic journeys, for $10 on the Amazon. Half of all proceeds go to Toys for Tots. Amazon.com. Search for Legion of Dorks. Thanks, Ashley, for holding that up. What a great ad.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I want to lick it. Oh, it's so, there you go. This is Kelly's. I got to read
Kelly's is good.
before you people did.
I'm working on my next story. I got it right here.
I've been typing it on my phone because I don't have time to sit and open my computer. So like I'll go sit and pee and do this and be like, oh God, how long have I been in here? Like, I'm gonna get
Whoops.
hemorrhoid for peeing. Like I've sit so long, sometimes I have to pee a second time, and I'm like, Jacob's gonna kill me. I said I'd be right back.
I'm in so much trouble. Look, the bathroom's the only place you get to be yourself for a minute. So
Oh,
you take advantage of it.
I'd love that would actually happen, but like 65% of the time, someone needs me.
Stephanie will go to the bathroom, and immediately after I hear the door shut downstairs, I hear Sam go, "Hey, mama? Hey, mama?" I'm like, Sam, she just went to the bathroom. Oh, when's she gonna be
mama?
done?
They're like cats.
He will follow me around while I'm doing stuff and just be like, "You done yet, Daddy? All right, you ready to go?" I'm like, I just wrapped up the garbage. I am walking out the door with it. Do I look like I'm ready to play? Like, no. I'm going to put the garbage in the garbage bin, and then I'll come play. It's ridiculous.
Sam asked me, he's like, because I came over the other day, and he's like, "Are we gonna jump? Are you gonna jump?" I'm like, "What did I tell him I had to do?" Oh, I was gonna finish my water because I was super dehydrated, and you can't nurse and be dehydrated. So I was chugging water. I'm like, "Yeah, when I finish this," and like he was like, "All right, are we ready to go?" And I looked at him, and I looked at my water bottle. I looked at him, and he goes, "So no."
He knows. He knows.
I
He's
know.
just
I'm
trying.
like, I'm not even answering that. I'm tired of telling you.
You know, you little rat. He gets it.
It was just funny because I've never heard him go, "So no." You got to finish that. And then he gave me finger guns.
He's so funny. I love that kid.
Subject, I do that to him. I follow him around. I'm basically a sibling, and I'm like, Sam, hey Sam, hey Sam, and like for 5 minutes, and Stephanie's like, "Talkies, stop it! I'm having PTSD of how you treated me when we were kids." And I'm like, "Look, he doesn't have a sibling. He needs this."
That's true. Yeah, you do give him a lot of crap, and I do get to hear the stories about how you treated Stephanie. But she did the same. She did the same thing. She did, Mom, Ashley's doing that thing again.
She was literally, we didn't get
Y'all were
along
both
until after college.
Y'all are both annoying. World news. Pigeon becomes world's most expensive after selling for $1.9 million. A champion racing
for 45 minutes.
Yes, we have. We've only been doing a show for 24.
Okay.
Yeah, we're fine. A champion racing pigeon sold by a Belgian trainer broke a world record and became the world's most expensive pigeon when it sold for nearly $1.9 million. New Kim, a 2-year-old bird put up for sale on the Pippa auction website by retired trainer Gaston van de Wouwer, 76, fetched a top bid of 1.8. Hold on. This is a big number. I'm going to shoot for it. $1,894,672 at the close of the auction on Sunday. The website said the pigeon was purchased by a Chinese buyer using the pseudonym Super Duper. The buyer's real name was not revealed, but Pippa said it was the same man who previously set the world record in March 2019 when he paid $1.4 million for a champion racing pigeon named Armando, Today I learned that there's such a thing as champion racing pigeons. I had no idea.
What the literal F?
Like, why is there a champion racing pigeon service, and how do I get involved? How do I train a pigeon to race? Because I'm down. Like, how do I do it? I have a pigeon going as fast as a peregrine falcon. It'll be like, okay, pigeon, I'm about to teach you his tactic. Fly really high and then just fall to the earth.
Racing pigeons for sale near me pops up when you write racing PI. Racing homer pigeons for sale, pedigreed and non-pedigreed.
Why, dude, can we start sending pigeon like notes to each other?
Pigeon USA, racing pigeons for sale. How much money can you make racing pigeons?
Oh, you can breed
Oh my
pigeons?
God, the $1 Million Pigeon Race pits 4,300 birds from 25 countries against each other for a share of 1.3 million in prize money. The runners-up can win cars and smaller monetary prizes, while the overall winner can expect to pocket $200,000 US. Why is it called? Oh, for a share.
What? There's
200. I mean, I guess
doping
that's a
pigeons.
person's salary.
People can dope a pigeon. Doping in pigeon racing is the practice of giving performance-enhancing drugs to avian racers. Wow. They fix them with corticosteroids to delay
What
molting.
hole did we just fall down?
This is amazing. There's so many. We've been pigeon racing in America since 1875. Wow.
I have a pigeon that goes as fast as an unladen swallow. Yeah, but if you tie a coconut to it,
I get
how
it.
many racing pigeons do you need?
I don't even like that movie, but I could make it that far. Racing pigeons are often transported in specially modified trucks. This is wild. What an incredible thing that I've learned today.
So to build off of Kelly's comment about, how do you have that much money to waste on a racing pigeon? I'm like, okay, well maybe you make bank racing the pigeons, but then I'm looking and I'm like, $200,000 isn't going to make up for $1.9 million that you spent, but maybe it's like if you breed it, you make money off the baby pigeons.
Is there seriously a market for this pigeon's sire was John Paul the 17th, the fastest pigeon that ever raced in South Africa? And you're like, oh, well, who was his mother? And you get that information. And then before you know it, you've got Secretariat the Pigeon.
Secretariatthepigeon.com.
This would make a great movie. It's like the Seabiscuit. But
What
it's
would
a
you
pigeon.
name? What would you name a racing pigeon if you had one?
What if they had little chipmunk drivers, like little chipmunk jockeys, right on the back?
I don't know. Okay, I need everybody's racing pigeon name. Ready, go. Steven, what's yours?
White Lightning.
Mine would be Swifty McLoftwing.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
And I
a
did
really good one.
it would be MCL, so it's definitely Mick and not Mac. Thank you, TV Travis. Flappy Mellows would be Flappy.
Flappy's a good one. I like Flappy. It's very on the nose. You don't question what he's good at. You named him after his talents.
Oh shit, is that a hawk, Adam of Geekheim? Buddy Boy for Oddly.
Buddy Boy's
Flappy
a good one.
McFaster Flapper Safo.
Flying
Mouse is Og. Oh, those are so funny.
These are great names. Flappy Melons is pretty great.
I get that one, deeply.
Yeah, I understand. When you're nursing, everyone knows what a flappy melon is all about.
I was jumping on the trampoline with Sam the other day, and I had a nursing bra on, so it's just soft, and there's no piping or my cake. And I was just holding my chest. I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Bouncing without pain."
Let me get you a couple bags of milk with a rope strapped around them, and you just jump and see what they do. That's what we're basically doing here. Blah, 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 blah.
Did I? Oh, I did. I hadn't sworn the entire time. Way to go, Adam!
Yep. That one you done goofed. But hey, if you out there in listener land have a pigeon name that you're just like, I gotta let them know, hnhshow@gmail.com or tweet at me, Steve H&H.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you
true.
can,
We
you
also need to
too
get the
can share in the
we
fun.
should we should get the Google Docs and you give us your racing pigeon name and your address so that I can send you a card and your phone number if you want a jingle bell message.
Oh, me and Hammer Dwarf could make simulated pigeon racing app. And you just fill in your pigeon racer name, and then we just randomly see who wins the pigeon race. How
Well,
exciting would that
that's
be?
please do that. Please do that. Please.
That's a
Oddly's over
great
there like
idea.
drawing his pigeon with racing stripes.
Yeah, and I've just volunteered Hammer Dwarf. Hammer Dwarf, coding assignment. Make a pigeon app, pigeon game on the internet for people.
Oddly, you get to draw it. You're welcome.
Oddly
You've been
draws.
voluntold.
Yeah, congratulations. You're all in. We'll be sending you the checks someday. With small town news. Wait, did I just learn something? The race name is probably different than what they called him too. Like Jenna's horse is Black Diamond Sky, but his barn name is Leo.
How did
Wow.
you get because we had Sunny Coldstream and Lego Wimpy, and we called them Cold and Legs, which is just awful. But I don't. Where did you get Leo from Black Diamond Sky?
Well, I mean, they probably came up with the Black Diamond Sky later, right? Like his
No,
name
you
was
have to. Well,
probably
it
Leo.
depends. Once you register it, and then your first show, like that's the horse's name. Like you're set.
I don't
We
know.
didn't name him.
We had horses with simple names like Rowdy. We had Rowdy. We had Tonto. My dad had a horse named Tonto for a real long time. Now we got
Yeah, but
Buddy.
if
We
you
had a
don't,
horse named Boy for a while. We had all kinds of horse names. I called that horse Egon. We had a horse named Boy, but I was really into Ghostbusters, so I called him Egon. That's what I remember.
see, I never did like the barrel racing anything. We just did like show jumping and
We
well, I
did
did
rodeo
Western and English
stuff.
because I was an idiot. See,
We
the
were
rodeo
all
stuff
into
would
it.
have been fun. So I had a.
It was great.
Did you do rodeo stuff?
I didn't do the rodeo stuff. My dad did the rodeo. My dad was in a sport called team pinning. If you've been in the rodeo circuit for a while, it's three guys on horses, a bunch of cows with numbers on them, and the goal was to get the number that the person told you was the cows to get into the pen, and all the other cows are outside the pen. So you'd have to like herd them into the pen and then jump off your horse, close the gate, and that was the end. It was pretty cool. He won a few times. And then I
So,
always got to go and throw the baseball with my buddies.
aw, it's like
Yeah.
sheepdogging for people.
Yeah, it was fun. And I would just go under the bleachers and play all the time. Like we just go all under the bleachers and
I
climb all
bet
over
you
everything.
did, Steven.
I was 9. Jeez.
I got my well. I used to. Yeah, never mind. I won't go there.
What did you
Move
do
on.
under the bleachers? Small town news. It's your turn.
I can't hear the music.
Oh, I know.
Ah! Accused porch pirate. Oh, sub. What the hell's a porch pirate?
That's the person that comes in and steals the packages off your porch after Amazon delivers them.
Porch pirate. You know what you could
Yeah.
do is build turrets and like have them look like Cylons. Like step closer. I
Like
eat your
Alex.
yes.
Terminate. What do they say? Destroy.
Terminate, annihilate, destroy.
That's it. Not destroy. That's a whole different thing.
Someone
That's
can
Tater
you
and D. Wayne's Dalek. Dalek.
Dalek.
Dalek.
If Daleks, if terminate, annihilate, and destroy.
Terminate. Annihilate. Destroy. Tater and D. Wayne done made it. You ever watch
like
that?
I can hear it in my head, and then when you say it, it's just such a bastardization. It's beautiful.
You ever watch that Doctor Who? Bet you we can build a robot and defend everybody. I'll build them out of rubber, popsicle sticks and rubber bands.
Popsicle sticks and balsa wood. Accused porch pirate arrested when he shows up at court in same shirt from surveillance videos. Dumbass. A South Carolina man is in custody after wearing the same shirt to a courtroom that he wore to steal packages off porches in Goose Creek. That was Goose Creek. Oh, South Carolina. The first picture of it. I love how some of these towns got named. There's a creek. there's some gooses in it. I guess this is Goose Creek.
There's a place called Possum Kingdom, South Carolina.
Possum Kingdom.
I can only
We should
imagine
look
when
up
they
the
met the
weirdest.
great Possum King, they were like, would you mind if we moved in here? And he was like, sure, because that's how we roll.
No, what they thought the whole court was dead because they were all playing possum. They're like, this land is ours now, and that's been the Possum King's great shame ever since.
Oh, he's kind of a defunct ruler now, more of a figurehead than a king.
They live under the mountain with mouth.
The possums under the mountain, like a 4-foot tall hill.
We have written a book, Kelly. We know our next story.
We've got it. We're gonna team up for this one.
That would be so cool. The first picture of the man in a green North Face shirt was posted on the Goose Creek Resident Group Facebook page. That was exhausting. Claiming he had stolen packages from porches in the Oak subdivision. The post said, quote, "Beware of this porch pirate," and went on to say the man pictured had stolen packages from at least 2 porches and probably wore a mask like the rest of the communists in this country because it's Facebook and nothing is not political. I don't know.
Communists.
I have no idea. Goose Creek police confirmed the man came into courtroom the next day wearing the same shirt. Maybe he was stealing packages because he only had one shirt. Well, sometimes people actually do make our job easily, the police department stated. This guy decided to come into our courtroom the day after the first post was made, and lucky for us, he was even wearing the same shirt. We're happy to say he is in custody. Police have not released his identity. The post did not say why the man was in the courtroom and if it was related to the stolen packages. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Good. That I am curious now. What you doing in court, yo? I'm assuming it had to be related to the stolen packages if they were looking at the video that had that shirt on.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm confused all of a sudden. Was he in? He was in court for stolen packages, and they just confirmed because he came in with the same shirt.
I'm assuming so. Why else
Okay.
would he be in court
Yeah,
where
he
it was
wasn't in court for like a
that his
traffic
shirt?
violation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, did we? Because that's what I thought it said, and then when you questioned it, I was like, wait, what happened? And I had to go full circle. That was an adventure. Thank you for taking me down that road. But how can that be true evidence? Like, how can you be like, that guy's got the same shirt? Like, what if they sold that shirt to a lot of people? Unless it's like the limited edition 1979 Meatloaf tour T-shirt. Like, there's got to be
a good lawyer would argue that it's circumstantial and that anybody could own that shirt and without further evidence. It depends on how. Oh, Cut and Shoot Texas. Woo, doggy Zafo. That's a name.
Wait, what? Hey, that's a town?
Town names. Cut and Shoot Texas.
Sounds about right. Sounds
like
very
Red
Texan.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Pirate
so excited
Possum
for Red Dead Day.
Red
Can't
Dead
wait
Day.
to shoot at Jacob from horseback.
What day is the charity stream?
December
where we're
4th.
Giving away these books?
I have a stack of them. You see that purple blur back there?
I want to sign some.
5 of them.
They're so freaking shiny and pretty. Oh,
did you really just lick it?
Fell off. Yeah.
Okay, good. Everybody, you're gonna get one book licked by Ashley. Just the gift you wanted in the middle of a global pandemic.
Look, I have not left my MFing house since before that child was born. So
she's the safest I talked to a friend of mine today. He moved here from like across the country. And he's living here, and in like within 4 months of moving here, the pandemic hit. And he hasn't been out of his house since. He's like, I've been to the grocery store once. He said, I had to go move my truck because he's on an incline. And the water, when it rains real heavy, gets in the back of the truck. It's the wrong way. That's stupid and bad news. So he had to turn his truck around. He moved his truck, and there was moss growing on his driveway. It had been so long since he'd been anywhere. So he's like, yeah, that took a little while to clean up. But his wife has gone out like 3 or 4 times just for her sanity, because they have a small kid too. They got a 3-year-old at home.
I don't know where you would go.
You just
especially
go
now
to the grocery store and buy something and leave. I bought a bag of Starburst minis. Time to go home. That's what
I
you
stopped and
do.
got gas today, and that was okay. No, the most daring thing I've done. Jacob called and ordered Mr. Dumplings. This was today, and I called. I'm like, "Hey, can you just bring it outside? I've got a kid in the car." And he's like, "Yeah." So he gloved up, masked up, grabbed the bag. I opened the door from him from the inside. He like stuck his hand in, didn't touch the door, and ran back inside. I had my mask on, so I reached across and closed it again. That was the most daring thing I've done in 8 months.
you're, you're so brave. I've been through like 85 drive-throughs since March, which is fine. We both had our masks on, me and Dr. Chick-fil-A, when
Well,
I
I
go
can't really
through
go
there.
through drive-throughs because if I slow down, my child is like, "The F! We
Oh
have stopped
gosh.
moving!" Wah!
I forgot about that. Yeah, you have to keep moving. I remember the anxiety that would set in if we're like, "You think we can do the drive-through? Let's try." And we'd go and be like, "Please, God, go faster. I need to
Oh,
move
like
my kid."
Chick-fil-A, you know you're gonna be there for 10 minutes and everybody's gonna be polite, but your baby's still screaming in the background. You're like, "I will shove a straw up your nose if you don't get me to the front of the line and give me my MFing nuggets." Like,
Well, and they trap you. They trap you at Chick-fil-A like you're on a freaking carnival ride.
it's so bad. If the zombie apocalypse happens, if something bad happens and you are at Wendy's or Chick-fil-A, you is toast.
You're
I
done.
never pull up super close because I'm like, okay, if something happens, I can escape through this bush. I'm not going to give a crap about the scratches it makes on my car because I'm like escaping through a bush. So obviously it's bad enough not to care about scratches. But like when they do the cinder block thing, I'm like, no,
Mhm.
no, no. I don't have a Jeep anymore. I can't drive up the side of a mountain and park.
There's no more bouncing the curb. You're like the rest of us, trapped in our little consumer vehicles,
So
driving
weird.
through the drive-through. But the good news is, since we're going to Chick-fil-A, we are protected by the holy chicken blessing. It gives us +2 to defense, just for being
Chicken
nearby,
blessing.
which I think is pretty good. Pretty good trade-off. You're protected when you're in the when you're in that
The
nice.
holy chicken. There's got to be somebody make a D&D move for holy chickens. I bet there is one.
Oh,
The
I'm sure
holy
there is
chicken
one.
buff. The
Holy
buff of the
chicken
holy
buff. If you
chicken.
I had a long rest and I ate a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Now we get +2 to attack all day and to
Wait,
saving
Oddly
throws.
made a picture of you drawing yelling at the microwave, and it's in Discord.
Oh my gosh.
I want to see
Oddly,
it.
I can't look at it because if I switch, then our cameras go away. I have
I'm
to
on
look at it in a
Jacob.
little bit.
Hold on.
But
Oh,
you're
where is
amazing.
where is it? Horseshoes and hand grenades, maybe? Somebody give all that reps. I'm gonna save
There
this.
is no rep. The rep bot's broken. He can't access the database. I don't know why.
Doom!
I'll fix it.
Doom!
I'll
Wait,
fix
here.
it. My
I'll send
phone
a
is up
picture.
there being a remote camera. Hold on. Now
Hold
that
on,
I'm
wait,
looking
I'll
at
take a picture. I'll take a picture. This is important. Please hold while I text my brother.
this audio is great. It's great audio.
There, I
Sorry.
sent it.
Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. I don't- Oddly, you're amazing. Just if you are watching the video, there. Oh, Nvidia, quit trying to be stupid. Whatever. It's amazing. If you're not in the Discord, you should be. You're the greatest. Oddly dormant. You get all the points. You get all the points. It's a picture of me yelling at a microwave, which is a good. That's basically me in my natural state. Hot pockets are taking too long. Fix it.
Mello, is there still the like super long lines for Chick-fil-A? Well, I guess maybe at some point there was. I've only been in like super long lines for Chick-fil-A like a handful of times, but I decided to go at heights of power for Chick-fil-A instead of when nobody else is going. But like I'm
In
not going to
lunchtime.
stop for Chick-fil-A if it's backed up onto the road. Like I'll wait 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm highly agitated that I'm still waiting for any fast food.
I'll wait all day for the Chick-fil-A. All day for them nuggets. 30 nuggets. They make 30 nugget packs now. 30 nugget. I will sit there and eat them like popcorn. It's like peanut oil is coming out of my
I'm
face.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. So I went over to Steve and Stephanie's the other day, and apparently, oh, this was did you talk about Stephanie's? anyway, Stephanie was maybe gonna have to have surgery. She didn't have to have surgery. It was great. So I was over hanging out with Sam, and Mom was there too. And so they get back and they're like, "We didn't have to have surgery." Yes. And Mom, on the way to Steve and Stephanie, she's like, "Well, call them and tell them that you want Chick-fil-A." And I'm like, "I'm not asking them to stop and get me Chick-fil-A." Like, no, I didn't realize that they were already stopping. Mom was unclear. It's not that I wasn't listening at all. No. So I get there and at lunch, I was like, "Ooh, I'll order Chick-fil-A. What does everybody want?" Because I hadn't eaten because I was hungry because I came over early and you don't eat, man. You don't. And so Steph's like, "We had Chick-fil-A for breakfast." And then Mom's like, "I told you they stopped." And then I hear and Steven's like popping his head around. He goes, "Chicken? Yes. Chicken, yes." He goes, "She's trying to answer for me. Chicken, yes."
Yeah, I was like, Stephanie was just like, "No, we had Chick-fil-A for breakfast," without even considering me. And I came running down the stairs because it was a dire emergency because I was about to miss out on it. I'm like, I will eat that chicken twice. Feed me that food. Do not listen to her. She's crazy. She doesn't
He
know what
was
she's
like
talking about.
nodding emphatically. It was just so funny because, like, Steven's upstairs working here down the wooden stairs. "Chicken, yes." And then he's like, "Well, what do you want?" I said, "Chicken." I said, "I want the nuggets." He said, "How many?" I said, "All of them." Because there's like either 8 or 12, and I don't remember because it's a number. I just want the maximum amount of nuggets to shove in my pie hole. And he goes, 30? Because they have 30 nuggets now. And I'm like,
You had to think about it for a second.
I guess the
Maybe.
one below that.
We've done the 30 before because it was cheaper to do 30 than to do two 12s and a 6. So it's like the 30, and then, but the disappointing thing is that Sam now eats all 6 of his nuggets, so I don't
Oh,
get to eat the rest of
no.
Sam's nuggets. It's
So
a
order
dad's
8.
right. It is a dad's, back me up on this, dads. It is a right to eat your children's food if they leave it sitting for 2 minutes and leave the table. It's yours now. Stephanie would be like, "Do not eat his food." I was like, he left. And there are nuggets and fries on his plate that have not been consumed. I'm going to eat them. She'll go, "Damn, your daddy's about to eat all your food." And he
Can
might come back.
confirm this is a daily conversation with them because she's like, "Steven, you can't, that's his food." Steven's like, "He left the table. He said he was done.
Mm-hmm.
This is mine now."
This is my food. I'll never forget riding with my dad on a trip somewhere. It's just me and him. And we went through McDonald's, and he was like, "Let's just get one supersized fry and 20 nuggets." I'm like, "Okay, that sounds great." And I tend to eat my food. I'll eat like the entree part of that fast food meal first. So I'll like start eating the nuggets and then I'll go to the fries. I don't like alternate back and forth a lot. So I was like, "I'll just eat some nuggets," and I went to eat the fries and they were gone. He had eaten every single French fry. Like, what have you done? He was like fistfuls of French fries in his mouth going down the road, and I'm just like looking out the window, eating my nuggets, going to, "Oh, what? Why are the fries?" Never share with your dad. Life rule number 6: never share food with your father because there's no such thing as sharing. He's
Oh, it was
eating it.
Tim. I thought you meant Sam. And I'm like, "Sam ate a whole thing of
No,
fries?"
no, my dad. Yeah, I remember that. So now I have a life rule: never share food with your dad. Even if he suggests it for whatever reason, you should never do it. 'Cause he's gonna
I do
eat
the
it all.
same thing with the food, but I eat the fries first because fries aren't good cold.
That's true, but if
And
you
it
eat
gives
like I
sandwiches
do, they
time to
don't
cool
get
down.
cold
Oh, okay.
because you hork everything.
Yeah,
Because you
okay,
grew
never
up with
mind.
your dad eating your food, so you
Yeah.
you you, you mantle over it like an eagle. And you're like, "Get back up!"
The dogs are slurping.
Hissing at him, you know.
Why do you look like Schmeagle?
You just mean mine's precious, precious Chick-fil-A.
It was terrifying.
Stupid hobbits is precious.
I can't do what you're doing. Oh.
Speaking of goblins, not to bring this up, but it's kind of hilarious. Rudy Giuliani was melting on camera today, and his final form may be revealed if we just wait long enough.
What happened to him? Wasn't he like kind of normal at one point? Then I feel like maybe he was possessed.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's like every picture I've seen of him lately has been like, with like now he was oozing today. It's just kind of making it's I don't know. Ever since the Four Seasons incident, it's just gone downhill. His whole body's like he's gonna rip off his skin and expose like the Goblin King from from the
It's
Hobbit.
element evil, oddly. So that's how do you okay? You guys brought up like the Chick-fil-A as an organization. I'm like, because I remember the Hobby Lobby thing where they weren't going to support birth control kind of thing, but I'm like, we live in a country that thinks corporations are people, and for a person, to decide what employees get what, that's no big deal. But like, we've we've allowed this ourselves. Like we keep voting in people that are like corporations are not people. They don't deserve the protection that people no, corporations are corporations. No.
I'm
Anyway.
not gonna walk down this road because I'm not gonna put down my chicken sandwich because it tastes
Well,
good.
right, yeah. I mean, there's
And
some people that feel
Hobby
muchly.
Lobby's prices are jacked. I have different reasons that I don't like them.
I don't give a shit anymore because I can't go outside to look at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby used to be my favorite little shithole to run into and be like, look at all the fall and look at all the Halloween and I'm gonna rub my butt together. Yay! But now I'm just like, Mom, I'm coming over because I'm gonna lose my mind.
I am going
Stephanie,
to move to
coming
another
over.
house.
I'm gonna lose my mind. And then I call my friends on the way there. None of them answer, so I sing them jingles into their voicemails.
I try to call Landon every now and then when I go for a walk. He doesn't answer me. He did the other day. I was like, yes! He answered the phone. I get to
Just
speak
start
with
leaving voicemails. Like
I
obscene
try to.
voicemails.
I do. I talk about how much I love him and all those kinds of gross things. And that's what I do. And it's it's what you do for your friends. Talk about how nice their butt looks in those jeans. You haven't seen them in a while. You need a picture. That way, if anybody ever gets their phone, they're going to have all these awkward messages from some dude talking about their butt. And that just makes me happy. The thought of that happening is great. Landon, I picked up your phone and I found all these messages. What's going on? Thought you were married.
Menage a trois, baby.
Like that's just my idiot friend who tries to get me in trouble with these.
Can you still say that when you're like 40?
Say what? Menage a trois?
My idiot friend.
Yes. Look, everybody's still got idiot friends. I don't care how old you are. If you think Jacob and I are going to be 70 and not be able to refer to each other as my idiot friend, then you're crazy. You never grow out of that. There's no adult gene that checks in. Your kids see somebody mature, but like I remember the most fond memory of not my most fond memory, a fond memory of watching my mom and figuring out she was just a person. That like a kid that was older and does stuff maturely now was when my uncle was chasing her around the pool trying to throw her in when I was like 24. That was the greatest thing. I was like, they're just brother and sister. Like, what is this? This is weird. This is great. It's a
I
good
got
thing.
yelled at when I was little for throwing a birthday girl into the pool. She was having a pool party. She was fully dressed. And I didn't realize that I had ADHD at the time, and I now blame it on this. But my brain goes, "Hey, you should hip check her." Okay, and everybody got real mad at me because I threw her into the pool.
I'm really discouraged now that you said my brain told me to do that because that's what Sam says when he's doing something he's not supposed to. He says, "My brain just said go do that, and so I did."
Your child has ADHD out the asshole, and Stephanie is trying to backtrack as hard as she can. She's like, well, blah, blah, blah said, I don't give a shit. He has ADHD. I will put money on it. No.
Put money
No,
on it.
you take him to talk to somebody so he doesn't go through the same shit that
We're
all the rest of
trying.
us did.
We're actually trying. We did call somebody and we were like, "Hey, can you get in? We want an evaluation just to see things." And they were like, "We're booked up." And we're like, "Okay, when we can, hook us up." So
Call
yes,
somebody else.
we're
Okay,
gonna
good.
get it checked out. We'll
Somebody
take
said
care of
today,
ours. You take care of yours.
I was like,
We've got
well,
this.
somebody said that it was just the pandemic. And I'm like, I'm sure that's making it worse. But
I'm
when he
just
hip checks his friend into the pool and everybody gets mad at him.
I just am not a rush to it doesn't matter. News better left untold. Indonesian man becomes instant millionaire after meteorite crashes through roof. A humble coffin maker in Indonesia became an instant millionaire when a meteorite, which was recently sold for $1 million, crashed through his roof. Wait, was it sold and then it crashed through his roof? Because that brings up a whole lot more questions.
Wait, oh man, Kelly would not approve of this writing.
According news reports, 33. I'm going to read it as written. 33-year-old Joshua Hutagulang was working next to his house when the space rock smashed into his living room in the Kolang area in the province of North Sumatra back in August. The next space rock. I feel like they were just looking for a new word to use and not use meteor twice, and so they called it space rock.
Space rock. Please,
He
can that be the show title?
Yes, space rocks. Space rocks your socks off. Space rock out with your socks out.
Beanie Steven is cool, Steven.
He told local news website Compass, like Koopas, when I lifted it, the stone was still warm and I brought it into the house. The sound was so loud that part of the house were shaking too. And after I searched, I saw that the tin roof of the house had broken. Hutagugulung sold the rock to a specialist collector who was giving him enough money to retire and build a new church in his village. The father of three was reportedly given the equivalent to 30 years' salary for the space rock. He says, I've always wanted a daughter, and I hope this is a sign that I will be lucky enough now to have one. Why can't we be like this when a meteor goes through our roof? Because a meteor goes through our roof, we're like, call the insurance company, done, everything's fallen to crap again, and this guy's like, it is a blessing, the meteor rock has saved my day, and he's just like, this is great, and I'll have a daughter too, because that's relevant to a meteor falling
Did
through
it
your
like
roof.
irradiate his nuts and now he shoots out like green sploogey semen?
Did you ever see that movie Meteor Man from like 1993, 94?
No, but I
Starred,
watched Slither.
it was great. It was about a guy who got hit by a meteor and got powers. He was just a school teacher in the a very urban setting of Harlem. Not Harlem, DC, Washington DC. He was like a school teacher and he got all these powers. Bill Cosby was in it, but that was before Bill Cosby was a turd. But not a lot of Bill Cosby, just a little Bill Cosby.
So if you get hit by a meteorite, I guess at that point, I think the only thing you get is death.
But if it's a meteor with magic powers that heals you, you don't die.
But
You,
okay, so if it hit you but then heals you, you would still die. It would just heal you. It would have to like reverse thrusters a mile above your head not to kill you. I mean, the space rock at this point is a space bullet, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, but when it's a magical meteor,
You're just being sniped
you're
by
being-
Jesus at that point.
yeah, you're being killed, but then you're waking up again with superpowers.
Of the Falcon boost.
Oh man, I didn't know Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle was in that movie.
And I have to click on the stupid link to see this movie.
It was great. I want to go back and watch it. Where's TV's
What's
Travis?
Chaos Walking with Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley?
It's about a dude who's the last dude on Earth. Or no, there's Daisy Ridley's the only woman on the planet, and all the dudes' thoughts can be heard by everyone. I didn't watch the trailer. I just knew that it sounded weird.
Oh my god, that's
And Robert Guillaume was in this movie too. I love that guy. Benson was in that movie.
Oh, thank you, Bitsy Bear. Okay, wait a minute. So go back to the only woman left, and you can. Why do you hear men's thoughts?
I don't know. I haven't watched the trailer yet. I just read the short trailer description, or movie description. What was it
Okay,
called? The Chaos Walking?
something like
Chaos.
rapey movie number 5.
People are talking
Chaos
about it.
walking.
The Lionsgate about a year ago said the movie was unreleasable. So everybody's like, what does that mean? Does that mean it was terrible? Does that mean it was edited
Rapey.
poorly? Was it
Rapey.
rapey? I don't
The
think it was
only woman
rapey.
left on Earth would be dead within a week.
You're probably right. You're probably right. It's much
Like,
easier to do a story like Why the Last Man, where he's actually like the last dude,
yeah.
than it would be to do the last woman. Don't read into that phrase too much. But this is, yeah, no. This would be bad news for everybody.
A dystopian world where there are no women and all living creatures can hear each other's thoughts in a stream of images, words, and sounds called noise. That's the music I listen to, essentially.
Yeah, that sounds. I would just be hearing German death metal in my head at a constant rate. There's a Bowser song that Sam listens to on his playlist, and it's really cool. It's like Bowser music from Nintendo 64, but it has this moment where it goes, and Sam loves that part. He loves it. He thinks it's the coolest. He's like, listen to this part. And I'm like, that is great. You're not wrong. This is way cooler than it has any right to be.
I should let him listen to my music.
Nah, it's okay. He won't listen to any music other than the Bowser music or Kirby music or Mario music.
Yeah, but I have all the like metal versions of stuff on my phone that he would love.
He might
All
be
the
into
all
it.
the all the video games set to the metals, the musics.
My
Did you ever
favorite
see that
part,
interview with Bjork talking about a television? It was like from the 90s.
no, but I'm willing to go look for it.
It's it was like my first foyer into ASMR because she's Icelandic and the way she rolls her R's, and she was just talking about like the electrodes and stuff in the TV, and I'm like,
You're like, I'm sorry, I'm asleep now.
what
Could you?
magic is this? I mean, she's just absolute nonsense because it's Bjork, but it's beautiful.
Do you
Look it
ever
up.
try to share ASMR like stuff with Jacob and he's just like, whatever, man?
He makes so before the baby, I would at night I would put in my earphones. I would listen to ASMR to go to sleep because it was just effing magical. And now I don't get to do that, but Jacob would make fun. I haven't listened to ASMR in so long that my brain is actually shut down. So that's fun.
Give it up. I will listen to music, and there's some music that just grabs me in the gut, like it, and then makes my whole head explode, because of the ASMR aspect of how my brain works. Sure, the whispers and stuff are fun, but like when a music hits a certain thing, like I feel like
Yeah.
I've just been flooded with endorphins. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I take my headphones off. Stephanie, listen to this music, and she puts it on her. She's like, that's pretty cool. I'm like, give me back my headphones. Go away.
Yeah,
Like it,
he used to walk up to me and be like, and then take the cotton swab and stick it in your butt. I'm like, go just F yourself.
just go die somewhere. Like the other day, I was trying to tell Stephanie something. I had the hardest time tonight. I was explaining. I'm kind of on the hunt for a TV. Don't tell anybody, even though everybody knows. But I'm like after this, after a TV, because I need to prepare for the PlayStation 5, and my TV doesn't take full advantage of all the PlayStation 5's goodness. So I'm like, look, I get obsessive. So I'm after this TV, and she thinks it's ridiculous because our TV works. Because your family owned the same TV for 85 years. Uh,
Yeah.
but I want to
Yeah.
upgrade. And so I'm like explaining all of it. But Sam's running around in circles around me singing. And Stephanie's cleaning up in a room. I'm trying to I just need to tell someone all the things I've learned in my research. And it's infuriating because I know she hears me and she can listen. But because she's moving around the room, I cannot understand. I don't believe it. I
There's
can
no
see.
reaction. There's no
No,
reaction. Yeah.
no. And I think about you when those kinds of things happen because I know you've been having conversations and Jacob will straight up walk away, which happens to me every now and then as well. I'll talk to Stephanie and she'll just like open her computer and start doing something. What are you doing? I'm listening. No, you're not. You can't be. Because if I have to listen, I have to look you in the eyes
You
or
have to
I am
stop what you're
not paying
doing.
attention.
You stop what you're doing.
Yes.
Jacob was doing dishes the other day, and I was so excited. I was telling you about stuff, and he just started handing me dishes, and I'm like, okay. And then I completely lost my train of thought, and I realized I'm like, he didn't ask me to continue. He doesn't give two shits
Don't
about
care.
what it's fascinating what I'm telling him, and he wants me to do the dishes with him.
They don't care.
Fine. I
They
texted
don't
Steven. I'm
care.
like,
I love them both to death, to the moon and back, as you say, but they don't give a crap about what we have to talk about. But it's because you and I both never shut up, and I completely
no.
empathize with where they're at. They don't
But
care.
some things are more interesting than other things. And if I'm jumping up and down and going, "This is fascinating," and
Yeah.
you're like, "Uh-huh, put this up."
Stephanie, let me tell you the difference between QLED and OLED televisions. I've learned everything there is to know, and I've decided on which one I'm going to get when the opportunity strikes. And
Some
it just does not give a crap.
Nope.
It's like, we don't need a new TV, right? Need? No. Want? Yes. Because if we upgrade the living room one, Sam can
I
have the old one and he can go play his game somewhere else.
that would be pretty legit.
Yeah, but then you have to have, well, if we put a TV in his room or in his playroom upstairs, then we won't know what he's watching, blah, blah, blah. He's an adult. He can do what he wants. WTF? WTF.
Yay! Did you see Oddly's racing pigeon?
No, did he draw one? Is it in
Oh my
Discord?
gosh! Oh, that's so good. Do you want me to send you a picture? Can you see
No,
it?
I can get it on my phone now. I picked my phone up from the Oddly
Right?
shit. Oh
Buddy
gosh.
boy.
I will try to remember to post these on the website so everyone can
Those are
see. If
so
it's okay with Oddly.
good.
Buddy boy. Love it. He's got a racing jacket
That
with
is
all his
fantastic.
advertisers on it.
That is fantastic. Oops, there's
Oh
my
man.
KS walking. I'm gonna read a story now. Japanese town deploys growling robot wolves to protect residents from bears. I just Japan, I love you. Like I just deeply love you.
They're great people over there.
With bear sightings, I drank so much water, I'm gonna throw up and die. At a 5-year high and dozens of attacks reported in Japan this year alone, city officials in the town of Takikawa. Takikawa?
Takikawa sounds good. Yeah,
Takikawa.
Takikawa.
Takikawa. Okay. On the island of Hokkaido, took action by buying and installing a pair of monster wolf robots. The animatronic scare wolves were developed through a cooperative project between precision machinery manufacturer Otaseki Hokkaido University and Tokyo University of Agriculture. Looking like a cross between Wolverine and the Terminator. Are there pictures?
I'm looking. I'm going.
It's
I'm
just,
going with
I
you.
just thought, oh my
Oh
god, that's
jeez. Oh
horrific.
my gosh, that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Ah!
I
Ah!
would show you guys, but I don't have the browser scene. So here's a link.
Okay, you got the. Oh my gosh, Steven!
Those are horrifying. They've got
That doesn't
red
look like
eyes.
Wolverine the Terminator. It looks like freaking Hellbeast and nightmares.
Chupacabra.
Fudgy McStuffins. Wow. Each cyborg canine lupus, Canis lupus, comes equipped with flashing red eyes, a blinking tail, and a repertoire of loud, threatening sounds, growls, roars, and heavy machinery noise, all triggered by motion detectors. I would shit my pants in a most defecatingly disastrous manner if I came across that and it started blinking and growling at me.
There'd
The
be all the
prefab
poops.
predators, I love whoever wrote this, are scheduled to be left out to prowl until early November when the bears go into hibernation, then return to duty next spring. Duty. We want to let the bears know human settlements aren't where you live and help them coexist of bears and people. And help with the coexistence of bears and people, explained Otaseki, head of Hancho Yuja Oto, in an interview with the
Manichi.
Manichi.
Doesn't sound like a very Japanese word.
I know. I have to like pronounce it slowly before because there's no syllables in Japanese. It's all
Yeah.
so and like our language is syllabic, so it hurts. No, okay.
Hurts to translate.
Steven's
Mainichi. I'm listening to you. You're not making sense. You're making sense. I just don't know how to respond to the words you're saying. Yes.
Since the menacing sentinels were introduced to their habitat on the outskirts of Takikawa in September, Takikawa, good God, I like insulting myself. No further bear sightings I think I have a bug bite on my forehead, have been reported, and as well, the robot wolves are being regarded by all accounts as a howling success. I just want to high five the ridiculous author of this thing.
Congratulations, you've proven that even the most incapable can get published. We've
No, I
got
love it.
this.
By Good News Network. No, but who's the actual author?
It's hard to tell. It's a conglomerate of brains. They're sitting in a room and they're all told to publish faster. So they're
So
just writing bullcrap.
it's cute. Whatever you did was cute. High five yourself.
Hey,
It's
what? I
cute.
don't know what I'm trying to say. Kelly's accusing me of saying something. I would never say something. What do I look like? An internet personality? Why would I say anything? Sometimes, sometimes you read writing and you go, okay, I should be doing this because this is terrible. And if they can do it, I should be able to do it. You know?
Yeah, it's either that or you read something so good you're like just stop existing now because you'll never be this good and why do you even bother and
You ever read
yeah.
anything that's just pretentious out the wazoo, though, where you just read it and you're like, oh, Lord, this person's just all about their words. And you
Yeah,
just
I've written shit like
throw
that. And
it.
I went back and I'm like, this is the most adverb heavy bullshit. I think I wrote something like that recently. And Steve's like, so this sounds like writing. He's like, everything after this part is good. And I
Yeah.
went back and read it and I'm like, oof.
It's so important that your writing doesn't sound like writing. It's such
Yeah.
a big deal. Like it's why they call it a voice, right? When you're
Yeah.
right, why you have a voice, because it's like you're supposed to be telling the story or speaking or hearing the characters speak. And
Too many adjectives and adverbs make it
if it
sound like writing.
if it feels like a college dissertation, try again. Like if you're writing fantasy or well, really anything that's a narrative, like just put it
I
together
was
like you're
definitely
telling it.
telling Kelly. That's a very good way to put it. I'm like, lightning bolts of pain shot down her thighs, but
Yeah.
it's real
Lightning
bad.
bolts of pain shot down her thighs. I
It's real
like
bad.
that.
That sounds like a sexy thing, but it
It
wasn't.
does. It does.
She was in a swamp or something. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
And that's when he put away the cattle prod because she looked angry. That's not what I'm into, she exclaimed.
Big fly. That was beautiful. What, Steven? You know there are so like Jacob and I were talking about sexy time stuff at one point, and he said something, and I'm like, well, the only things like I really didn't get into was like some of the electro play stuff, and he's like,
Wait,
what?
what is that?
Like, never mind.
Maybe we
we'll
just
just we'll just
glance over it.
we'll do. So there's one of my psychotic friends from college had this game. I completely forgot about it till now. But it was two handles, right?
Yeah.
And it shocked you. And it slowly built up the charge. I mean, it was unpleasant. Like it
Sure.
hurt. And the whole thing was who could hold on the longest because it created a loop while you guys were both holding it. So the second the other person let go, like the winner stopped feeling the sensation too. Um But then I realized that my friend was like, that was a thing for him. So it hurt, but he was like, "Yeah!" Like,
That's
I'm
not
not playing
me.
this game anymore. No, it's
Not with you. No, oh, no, that's not what I mean. I'm saying the whole this hurts thing. That's not for me. I don't want to hurt. I spend most of my life trying not to be hurt. Like that's not a jam I could get into. Don't get it. Don't want it.
well, it
Not a
wasn't
part of it.
necessarily the hurt. It was just I don't like being shocked.
Shock's a weird kind of pain. Like it's
Yeah,
not
it
normal.
wasn't like the fun tingly BDSM pain. It was like, "This is stupid. My brain thinks it's dying." Knit. Like,
Yeah,
if I had a
it's
wiener, it would have inverted.
it's like it's not getting hit with a paddle. It's a whole different feeling. It's like it hurts on the inside, like it hurts on the inside out getting
Like, right
shocked.
between your shoulder blades. It's
Right?
stupid, and
You're
then it, like, makes you feel all like, just thinking about it makes my hands, like,
Yeah, it makes you
tingle
all
and
jittery.
bitey. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like
It's
being
not a
shocked.
fun thought.
Yeah.
I
So,
remember we
yeah,
had
no electroplay for Ashley.com.
my buddy when we were in a band, he had a
Only
bass
Jacob.
amp. It's a giant bass amp. It's like probably 30-watt, 50-watt bass amp. And it didn't have a ground on it, on the power cable. So he'd sit it on the concrete. And if he touched his lips to the microphone, it would shock the bejesus out of
Oh, shit.
him. And I was standing there with my guitar one day, and he had his bass, and he hands me his bass, and I'm holding the strings of my electric guitar and the strings of his electric bass, and I became a circuit for that. And I was like, Patrick, take your bass. I'm gonna die. It's like current, this current of electricity flowing through my body, and I'm like, I'm gonna die.
Take the
Take,
base.
take
Could you
the
not let
bass.
it go?
Take the base. No, I couldn't drop it on the concrete and
I was
drop
gonna
his
say Steven
base.
either couldn't let it go because it had him with the electricity, or he was too conscientious. He would rather die than drop someone's base.
I'm not gonna drop your base. Take it back. It was awesome. It was hilarious. And after that, we got a mat to put his his bass amp on, because as long as you put something between that and like the concrete, it wouldn't create that loop. So we were able to survive. But it was a
Filthy
free
people.
bass amp. It was great. It's what
It's really
Landon's
great
dad
if it,
gave it to him.
wasn't trying to kill you. It's like the
It
possessed
was.
base. And that's what we should write a ghost story about, the possessed base amp.
The bass amp's trying to kill everyone that's used this amp has died. Why would you use the amp again? What is wrong with you? Because they also become rock stars. It's gonna kill you. We just don't know when.
I
But you
like
will
that.
get fame and fortune. Yeah,
Did you
we're
see
into this.
Jennifer's body? Did I ask you that? I've asked
You've
you that.
asked me that multiple times over
I
the
think I've asked
years.
you that like in the last like month.
You have, but it was
It's okay.
Halloween, so that makes sense.
Yeah, there you
It
go.
yeah, I haven't watched Jennifer's Body.
You should watch it. You should watch it with Steffi. It's scary, but it's not scary.
I don't. That's not the kind of scary that gets me. There's a scary that Hereditary got me
It
hard.
was so effing weird. Like, it not only was it scary, but it was like head gaming scary.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do the stuff that sticks in there.
That's tough.
Stays in
Yeah.
stays in your
I
brain.
found myself thinking about it too much, and then I looked up a bunch of stuff, and like apparently there is like a cult in real life. And yeah, I'm like, nope, nope,
That's why
nope.
that dude's moved was the summer one. What was it called?
Solstice.
Solstice summer. I don't
I
know.
never watched that one either.
I didn't watch that one.
The poster has like a chick's face in the leaves, and I'm like, I
It was
don't.
weird.
After I got like prego, I can't do like, it's so weird. But Stephanie's like, let's watch a scary movie together, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, you're done.
I think yeah. I don't want it in my head right now. It may
Probably a
be
good
because I've
thing.
been locked at home for 17 years.
Probably fair. You don't want
Yeah.
you don't want to have that when your baby like rolls over and stares at you at night. You don't want to like
It's
think
ridiculous.
that he's
He stares
haunted.
at me till I put a pacifier back in his mouth, and then he closes his eyes and goes to bed.
I mean, hey, you got to have your off button. Bloop,
Eh,
there you go.
It's
Asleep you
really
are.
cute. But so like I have to lay like so this arm is just a slab of cold meat at night, and I've just given up trying to keep it warm because I can't wear a shirt because he nurses and it's uncomfortable. And I can't pull the covers up over me because he lays right at my side and he'll suffocate and die. So I just have this arm completely frigid because I like the room cold to sleep. And like my rotator cuff's all messed up because of the way I have to lay. And I'm like, whatever. I'm sleeping for 6 hours a night. I'll take it.
It
Which
is
is
whatever
less
you can
now.
get.
I
Yeah.
should probably go to bed soon.
You should. I was gonna wrap it up, but then we started talking again.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't you. It was me. I shouldn't have brought up the other stories. And now I'll
It was
spend the next
literally
10
me.
minutes apologizing for all the stories. Oh yeah, you could put leg warmers on your arm. Life hack. Thanks, Zafo. That's a good idea. But you know what else is a good idea? Letting Ashley go to sleep. That's a good idea. If you like this show, you know what to do. Give us a review on your favorite podcasting service of choice. Say you enjoy it. It makes us smile, makes you smile. You'll know you've done a good thing today. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm Steve H&H. Ashley is Fate Kills, Phate Kills. You can also follow us at Two Dorks TV. You should go buy our book.
Yes!
Amazon.com. Go to the search Legions of Dorks. Or I think I don't have a short URL for it yet. You can go to legiondorks.com and find a link there to get both the books. And both of them, half the proceeds go to Toys for Tots. So go get in on that. And be ready for our charity stream coming up. I've been working on it. Last Monday, Tuesday, I was working on overlay stuff. I'm trying to get things all set up. And I got to do some other things, planning, making things happen, making it work. So it'll be a fun stream day.
We're
going to do community stuff. So look out for that. If you're not part of the Discord, get in it. twodorks.net/Discord, where we'll most likely post how we're going to do the community stuff and what we're going to do. Because it's going to be fun. Like the evening time will be community group play. Be a lot of fun.
This is sounding more and more sketch as we go on.
Well, it's for the children. So
oh gosh.
It's do what you will. If you want to support us, you can do so at twodorks.net/support. You can join the likes of Og and Hammerdorf and Oddly Normal One and Adam and Christina of Geekheim and our parents who support us every month and are making a big difference. And we appreciate that a lot because it is incredibly helpful. More than you may know. And we're going to leave you with these words of wisdom from Jean Rostand. Or is it Jean Rostand? We might never know. Hatred for the man who is not engaged in it is a little like the odor of garlic for one who hasn't eaten any. I know that feeling well because Ashley eats a lot of garlic and you have to be around when she talks to you.
Garlic. So good.
Garlic comes out of your skin when you sweat and it makes you smell like a piece of toast.
Thanks.
Ashley smells like toast. I'm kidding. Ashley doesn't smell like toast because Ashley's got that gene, that no sweat gene, the ACCC11.
Like a giddy up jingle horse, get on your feet. I was writing Oddly because he gave me his phone number so I could sing him a message, and I was like, I'm gonna call you and sing you jingle bells.
All right.
It'll be tomorrow, Oddly. I won't call you tonight because I can't scream in the house right now.
Yeah, you got to be quiet around there. It's one day we're gonna have a headquarters. If we ever get 75,000 patrons, we can go get an office space and just go drive over there and yell to our heart's content.
Can we just, it would have to be hours though, in case, there's another pandemic.
Yeah, we own it. We will own it. It'll be our building. It'll be great. I'm excited for that never happening future that I'm dreaming of. Love you guys. Have yourselves a wonderful week. Oh, we might not be back next week because it's like Thanksgiving and junk, but we'll be here when you need us. Maybe. Bye, everybody.
Bye.